Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Josh's Music Club. So, I want to talk about what happens if someone gives you a chord progression and you have to figure out how to improvise over it. So say you're given three chords, and we're gonna assume that it's a bit more complicated. It's not just all coming from one key, right? Because if someone gives you I don't know, an A minor, then a C major, and then a D minor, you can kind of assume you're just gonna play A minor, it's in the key of A minor. Unless there's some modal interchange thing happening. But let's instead think about you get something a bit more complex. So what do you do? What's the first steps? What's something that I immediately start looking for? So I think there's a couple things. So for me, I think about what notes do the chords all have in common? Are they all coming from a single key? Is it coming from different modes of the same key, or is it coming from completely separate keys? So what are the notes in the chords? What are the notes that don't change between every chord? Okay, and then I think, where is the tonal center? If I play a chord in isolation, where am I feeling that the root note of that chord is? And then the next step would be for me to start practicing switching between all these different keys and beginning to start to improvise. So let's I'm gonna just come up with a chord progression right now, and then we can kind of analyze it. Okay, so let's say the chord progression I'm given is okay, kind of weird. So we got So my first instinct is, what are the notes in common? Okay, so in this first chord, I have a B, then I have an A, then I have a D, then I have an F sharp. Okay, cool. That's a B minor 7 sound. Okay, then this next chord, the first note in this chord is this B flat. So I automatically know I cannot just play B minor over this whole thing, because over that second chord, it's just not gonna work, right? But there are notes in common. So these two notes between the first two chords are the same. This high note does change. It goes from an F sharp to an E. So then let's just take those two chords and think, what can we play over this? So over this first chord, I would play a B minor scale. We could even play a B minor Dorian scale, because there's nothing in this chord that says we can't play Dorian. Okay, and then over the second chord, what scale fits in that chord? I'm hearing B flat Lydian. So now I would practice kind of how do they resolve into each other when I'm improvising, switching from B Dorian to B flat Lydian. How does that even sound? So I would just start noodling. So I'm just like playing a little bit of chromatic stuff, but also I'm just switching between the two keys and just getting comfortable with what sounds good. Cool. So then let's think about this third chord that I played. This third chord's a little bit more ambiguous. So I'm not playing a third. So it could be major or it could be minor. So if I'm thinking about this as like a minor chord, this could be Dorian, this could be C Dorian. Or if we're thinking about it as major, it could just be C major. So I'm going to try both and kind of see which one sounds better. So I'm going to be switching between all three keys now. So if I'm here, so I personally think that it sounds like a C major chord, because then I could be thinking about this as like, there's more notes, I guess, in common between B Dorian and C major than there are between B Dorian and C Dorian, right? Because that's like a half step movement kind of thing. So like if I went from B Dorian to C Dorian, it would sound like this. Which is cool, but it's very just like half-steppy vibe. But if I went from C major to B Dorian, I just think it sounds a little bit more musical. So there's no right or wrong here. You kind of just have to use your ear to decide what you think sounds the best. So, quick lesson, that's just kind of like, I don't know, the first steps I would take to tackling a more complex chord progression and improvising over it. Yeah, so catch you guys later. Bye.